How's it going, friends? Today I want to teach you guys how to navigate life so you can astral project in the way that I teach it. Now, what I want to teach you guys is how to go about work and school, social interactions, phone usage, and stress. I want to give you guys a state of being that is neither overstimulated or depressed, and you are balanced and aware of what is going on physically, emotionally, and mentally. As you start using the words I'm going to give you here, along with navigating food and navigating exercise relative to astral projection, you're going to build a lot of momentum into increasing your awareness of what's going on within you and maintaining the balance. And in 3 days, if you follow my words, you're going to be perfectly set up for astral projection, maybe even sooner. In 3 days, no problem though. Work and school. This is where we spend roughly the most of our time throughout the week, either 4 to 8 hours, 5 days a week. And so this is a really good time to start practicing good habits. Before I enter my work life, I don't go to school. When I enter my work life, I center myself. This would have helped a lot if I was in school. I meditate and I stretch before I really start my day, okay? I love to do the Zen swing. It helps tremendously with healing any pain within the body and just lining up the spine, relieve tension in the spine, which makes a world of a difference, by the way. I've also used it to heal myself in the past. And meditation further grounds that stillness, further deepens the roots of that stillness into my being. So when I go into work, I'm centered and I'm very aware of what's going on physically, emotionally, and mentally. If something starts tightening up physically, I can make a quick adjustment before it turns into a very large pain that I'm going to have to deal with over the next few days. Emotionally, if I start getting overstimulated or maybe a little bit too depressed, I can balance myself out before things get too bad. And mentally, I'm very aware of if I'm here in the now or if I am lost in some daydream. The reason we want to practice being here now is because the first step of any proper astral projection technique, in my opinion, is to have a tame body and mind, meaning that you are centered and you are aware here. You need to have a lot of awareness gathered so then you can disengage and transition into the next reality, which is essentially what astral projection is. This is very hard if you are mentally scattered and physically restless. Okay, so this is state of being which I'm teaching you is going to make that tame body and mind your default state. So that's how we go about work and school. We center ourselves so when anything occurs that starts to make any unraveling happen, we can make quick adjustments to that centered state. If you enter work and school in a completely unraveled state, it takes much more work to bring yourself into a centered state, as all the chaos and responsibility is now on your shoulders versus when it wasn't there in the morning. So come prepared. The next thing is social interactions. I don't want people influencing you. Okay, I'm a barista. I talk to hundreds of people a day, and I make it quite a big deal to not be influenced by others. I encounter people that are having great days. I encounter people that are having bad days. I encounter people that don't want to talk to me. I encounter people that want to show me all their love. And if it does influence me, I make sure to quickly ground myself back down. The reason for this is because someone is having a bad day and I choose to join them. I choose to agree with them out of social anxiety, which you'd be surprised how much people shift their emotional state and their mental patterns just to agree with someone else. It's going to cause a slew of chaos within me, which I'm going to have to then adjust to get back into that centered state later on. Just make eye contact with people when you talk to them and notice if either of you are becoming tense. If you look at someone in the eyes and you start to get movements in the hands, or you start to fidget physically, something's going on within you. Just take a deep breath and calm down. Maintain that eye contact. They'll join you in their peace. I cannot tell you how many times by simply making eye contact with someone and holding myself in a still place internally, if they are in a low place, they'll come join me. If they're in an overstimulated place, they'll come join me in that peace. And now you have two people anchored in peace. This creates a great social environment to maintain that physical, emotional, mental balance that is going to maintain that state of being that is neither overstimulated nor depressed. Okay, it's going to make your default setting so much easier to maintain if you just bring people down to your level. And I'm not talking about using words or knocking them off their high horse. Just simply be and engage with them. They'll join you. Trust me. And if you don't believe me, go try it out for yourself. It's a fun little experiment. The next thing is phone usage. Right, phones are awesome. I'm not saying phones are bad at all, but when you use them without purpose, then it makes no sense. Okay, if you go on your phone, make sure that you're going to go watch that show and make sure you're going to be engaged with that show. If you go on your phone, make sure you're going to go text that person, or you're going to go look that thing up, or you're going to make that post. And once you're done, put it away. Okay? If you start mindlessly scrolling through your phone, you're practicing ignorance. You're practicing being unconscious. What are you doing, dog? We want to be aware of what's going on. And if you start just mindlessly going about, you're bound to send yourself into a state of anxiety or depression. You might send yourself into a state of happiness, but small chance of that happening unconsciously. So be very precise with your phone, okay? And when you realize it's causing you stress, just put it away. That's all you got to do. There's an off button for a reason, a sleep button. Following that, stress. Stress happens, man. You go through life, you get your ups and downs. What you need is a mindfulness technique, a grounding technique. I use the foundation in its raw form when I just need a simple pick-me-up, a simple gathering method. It's just a meditation. I'll leave that there for you. You can do the whole foundation if you want to and learn that. You can do that to begin your day before you start work and school and set you up for your social interactions, your phone usage, all that stuff. But have a mindfulness technique. Have something to send yourself back, whether it's deep breaths, whether it is a mantra within you, whether it is just smiling, just speaking out loud. Speaking out loud helps me a ton. Just bring yourself into the now, realize that everything's actually okay, and go on about your day. This is how to navigate work and school, social interactions, phone usage, and stress, to maintain that state of being that is neither overly stimulated or depressed, and have you aware and balanced of what's going on physically, emotionally, and mentally. My name is JC. I love you guys. Peace.